One change in the legislature in Missouri is that this guy who's just totally against sports betting there is not going away.
This has been in progress since last fall. They got 300 and some thousand signatures. All they needed was 170, but those were all certified by local election boards. That had to be done by earlier this month. By tomorrow, the Secretary of State has to verify all those signatures.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Hey, let's say it comes down for Matt Kuchar in the FedEx Cup ball. Let's say he doesn't make a cut, and it comes down to one shot. And
that's a good point.
And he keeps his card for the top 125 because he did make the jump from, I think it was 113 to 103. So he made a 10-spot jump. So he's got, 17, or let's see, that was not good math. He's got about 20.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
If the U.S. gets to a bad start and they're down or close, I may double down on the second quarter because I know that that's when Steve Kerr is going to want to either A, if it's close, open it up. If they're losing, you got to get the lead because you don't want teams like it was in South Sudan to believe that they can win.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Let's go.
Welcome to the Live Golf Team Championship.
The golf has been mesmerizing.
They are the Live Golf Team Champions.
Team golf is back.
Oh, yes!
Are you ready?
Let's go! That's what champions do.
Hi, welcome. It's InGame Live Prime Time here on a marvelous Monday evening. Scott Wetzel, Dave Sharapan for the next 2 glorious hours, right up until 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Baseball with a little preseason football talk. Just to kind of recap an interesting little trend that perhaps, just perhaps, this is a rare time where the public might actually be beating the boys in Vegas for preseason football. How about that? But we got 3 baseball games, Dave, underway. We got 3 more starting in 5-10 minutes. But first up, how you doing? How was your weekend? How are you tonight?
Weekend was great. It's good to see you. They let me and Kurtz do this alone on Friday, and I sat in your seat. So I was on where you were sitting. Yeah. So I drove. We survived. Everything was good. We even did a Black Cloud play of the night.
In
honor of you, and it was fantastic. And it was the Padres against the Rockies, minus 180, blah, blah, blah. I made the whole case like you.
Right.
And I said, this can't lose. And then I said to Kurtz, but they have a better record than the Padres in the season series. Like, they've won more games than they've lost. This could be the thing that beats us tonight, right? And he was like, don't worry about it. Padres lost. So we continued the Black Cloud streak. It was perfect.
Nice. It is amazing, right? This weekend, we had 2 of the hottest. It just goes to show how you can have all the trends in the world and this and that. You had Arizona, which was 13-2, heading to god-awful Tampa Bay. You had San Diego, which is playing great, similar numbers. I don't know exactly what they are, but with similar numbers, right? Playing god-awful Colorado. Meanwhile, Arizona gets swept, and San Diego loses 2 or 3 to Colorado. I mean, go figure, right? It's almost impossible. It really is.
It's tough. Baseball in August is tough. Baseball in September gets a little bit tougher, but I've told people this, and I'll tell you and remind everybody watching, and if you are watching, thank you for watching on SportsGrid. Dogs in September. I mean, just start taking dogs almost blindly. Like, you look at this game tonight, Pirates-Rangers, all right? Pirates take 2 or 3 from Seattle, and you go, okay, what do we do now? Do you want Dunning minus 150? I don't. The Pirates 36-17 to the under. But 4-0 on an overrun right now. They've lost 7 straight road games. So Pirates on the road, everything indicates that you don't want this. But how about this one? 6-16 record in the last 22 games for the Texas Rangers, including, 0-6 after a win. Give me the plus, Wetzel.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Team hasn't won 2 in a row in about a month. I mean, literally. So yeah, you're right. Sometimes it's not okay. Do I want to do this? But it's more okay. I don't want to do that. So I have not laid a $150, $160 with Texas. I mean, you're fool. That's a case, Dave, where they're still getting the respect of winning the World Series last year, and they're still thinking that okay, they're going to turn things around. To me, it's possible. It's been done. But if you haven't turned things around by now, I just don't think it's going to happen for this Texas Rangers team. We'll talk to George a little bit later on. Mark Zinno's going to come on, and then we got obviously Cam later on as well. But I'm going to be curious to see what Texas does with some of their high-priced players. Do you try and get rid of Jacob deGrom? Would you try and get rid of a Max Scherzer, even though they're not paying him that much money? The Mets are on the foot, but you could put those guys on waivers, and then if someone claims them, boom, he's all yours. Go take that monster contract. They got a few guys if they wanted to sell that maybe, just maybe, someone would take them versus trying to hang on and think, okay, maybe we're gonna go 20-3 or 20-4 and make the playoffs. But that's underway. Red Sox and Houston Astros underway as well. But the Red Sox never beat Houston. They've lost 6 straight, 0-3 this year. Been outscored 23-10 this year by the Houston Astros. They just, outside of one goofy year where they went like 7-4, other than that, over the last 5, 6, 7 years, it has been all Houston. Hawk, they've lost 5 straight road starts as well. I like the Astros tonight, laying only a $1.38. And that's actually come down for some goofy reason. I'll take Houston at home at decent odds.
Do you see what I'm wearing? I mean, in deference to you,
I do see that difference to my pick.
And you like Houston. That's fine. We can be on opposite sides. I'm not sure I like Boston. I'm just not sure about Kikuchi. I really like the over. So Houck has his K prop at 4.5. This one, I don't know. We got to get through the 5th, I think, to even have a shot at this. So that feels like a dead underplay there. And Kikuchi, this number, is this high for you?
This is high.
At 7,
yeah.
This is high, right?
Yeah, this is an anti-Red Sox number. That's what that is. That is okay. Someone's pitching against the Red. I told you about this Red Sox team. They strike out like it's nobody's business. So that's why it's that, because his numbers over the last, and I looked them up, and I'll just go over them here again real quickly. For him to be 7.5, 5 did have 8 against Texas, but 5, 8, 6, 13, 5, 7, 3, 7, 5, 6, 4, 4. 0, 6, 9. It's only a handful of times has he gotten to 8. So you're paying a premium. You really, if you have those numbers, if you go to adjusted lines, Dave, where they give you a chance to bet, like in his case, 5 or more, 6 or more, 7 or more, 8 or more, whatever the case may be, you can either take the over 7.5 at plus odds, or in essence over 6.5, 7 or more at minus odds. So if I'm going to put him in parlays, I'll go conservative and say, all right, he's going to get more than 6.5, 7 or more at like minus 160, 170 or so. Wouldn't play them straight, but if I'm going to put him in a parlay, I'd rather do that than ask for that extra strikeout.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, only because the strikeout, the variance on the numbers they're tight. It's not like,
right.
A spread like in the NBA where you have -6 and the team can win by 30.
Right.
Most of the time, the strikeout number falls within one number of the actual number, maximum 2. So you got to be very careful. The other game that's starting, right here very soon, first pitch coming up, Royals and Angels. Now, the smart projection had the dog in both of the other games, had the Pirates and had the Red Sox, which is kind of surprising because a lot of times it's just a percentage based on what it's usually the favorite. This one is overwhelmingly Royals. 9-2 to the over in their last 11, 7-0 at home. I know you do a lot of the research and you look at a lot of the things. Is there anything you could find that you said, you know what? Give me the Angels tonight.
Yeah, right. There's not much. The only thing I would say is that they play, for whatever reason, a little bit better on the road. They're they don't have a winning record, don't get me wrong, but they're only 5 games under 500 on the road, 21 and 30, or 26 and 31, which, is not, god awful. You got some teams battling for playoff spots that are in positions like that. At home, for whatever reason, the Angels are 13 games under 500, so they're atrocious. But no, you can't make a case for the Angels with their lineup, with everybody out, not playing well. Kansas City is. They've won 4 in a row. They're great at home. 13 games over 500 at home. Am I going to lay the number? 265? No, but. I'll lay the run and a half at minus 128 now on FanDuel. Can you make a case for the Angels?
Nope. We'll have to keep an eye on that and hope that the Angels get an early lead. And, we'll rely on Vinny and Patrick and whoever else is there watching to let us know if the Angels get on the board first, because then you can come on the Royals. At that point, at a much cheaper price. Now, the book knows that we're going to do this, so the first adjustment probably won't be much. They go from minus 260 to minus 180 if they're down 1-0, and then it'll slowly trickle down. But I think the Royals, I think Lugo pitches good tonight. I do. So, there's nothing I like about the Angels tonight.
Yeah. It's tough. We'll get your thoughts on this when we come back. I just wonder how many people look at these games and say, I like the Angels, or I like, a heavy dog. Or is it just because, you want to give me 200, 220 on a game, I'll take that. We'll get Dave's thoughts on that when we come back. InGame Live, Prime Time, underway.
These preseason games often just come down to a team will get inside the 5-yard line and they go for it. Nobody's ever, in the real world, the Falcons would have kicked a field goal.
And hit this thing right down to the middle. We talk about these games being close, decided, maybe a tie. That's the whole thing. You talked about it, Merrill. These lines are moving not just 1 or 2 points. This is significant stuff.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
We looked borderline unprepared the end of the game. We didn't know how to match up. We didn't know how to switch that at half court. And when Gabby Williams got the ball, hit that long 3 to funnel her to the basket to keep that is on the staff, but it's also in the fact that we did not think we were in that or going to be in that situation.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Hey, let's say it comes down for Matt Kuchar in the FedEx Cup fall. Let's say he doesn't make a cut, and it comes down to one shot. And
that's a good point.
And he keeps his card for the top 125 because he did make the jump from, I think it was 113 to 103. So he made a 10-spot jump. So he's got, 17, or let's see, that was not good math. He's got about 20.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
It feels like everybody's running to Houston, and that worries me a lot. The expectations for this Texans team, given where they were a couple of years ago, is kind of scary, is it not?
I was at least looking for a number. I think the best one I found was plus 850. And then Super Bowl-wise, I think it was 16-1. I think if they make it, they would probably be the favorites.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Hey, welcome back InGame Live, Prime Time here on the grid. Just getting underway. Scott Wetzel, Dave Sharapan until 10 p.m. Eastern Time. We got the 6 now baseball games underway. We'll get to the preseason stuff because some interesting numbers with the preseason this past weekend on top of what happened last weekend that I want to get Dave's thoughts on. But, Dave, I mentioned that, before we went to break, games like Kansas City and the LA Angels, right? I mean, I don't know how many people are actually laying 265 on Kansas City, but they're probably putting them in a parlay. So people are going to the window, I think, betting Kansas City, right? And it doesn't have to be this game, but games like this. I mean, are there people in Vegas that just think, okay, the Angels are actually going to win versus, all right, I'm going to take a flyer on the Angels because you're giving me over 2-1, and I'm going to bet two teams getting 220, 230, thinking even if just one win, I win money. Do people stay off the negative side of it? And it basically eliminates this game. How would a game like Kansas City to LA, again, it's got a 250, 260, especially Kansas City, which is not really a public team. It's the Yankees, I understand, or Houston or the Dodgers. But in a game like this, is it, not many people bet this game?
This is one of those ones where there were guys that would just do this. One that I just remembered by asking me, his name was Adam. He would appear on a day like today in a favorite like Kansas City and just take the 1.5 with the Angels pregame because he just kept saying it's so powerful to take a 1.5 and get plus money. Anything, even money or better, plus a 1.5, he would come in and bet. Now, there are other people that if you're, sitting there working in the book and you're typing parlays over the counter, the Royals are at the bottom of every one of them. Like,
right.
And, the game number is, let me double check it before I say it. It's number 906. So 906 would be called out every baseball parlay because that's the one, that's the free space. That's the free space on the bingo card today. Royals are winning. They wouldn't even, some would use the run line, but most of the time it's just 906 money line, put it in there. It'll add a little to the payout of the parlay. Nobody's really coming to the window, Scott, to actually lay it in a straight bet. You know what I mean?
Right.
It kind of, the price is too high. Corey Seager, leadoff home run for the Texas Rangers. They're up 1-0.
There you go. Didn't take long. So how about the PP tonight? The public parlay, right?
Oh, boy.
Kansas City minus the 250, 260. It's locked now because the Angels got a couple of runners on. And, of course, the San Francisco Giants minus 245 against the god-awful White Sox. Is that going to cash tonight, do you think? And if not, who's losing? The obvious question on top of that, then.
I think San Francisco's losing. If I have to pick one of the two.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, only because I got Lugo pitching. I really like him, expect him to get a quality start. But the first game of the series is when the White Sox been getting people, right?
Right.
Does that say 75%? That's what that picked it? What?
Wow.
Is that real? They're the San Francisco Giants, right? Like this is what? That's exceptionally high for a game involving, two teams both below 500. 3-18 their last, 21 road games versus lefties? 1-58 in the last 59 when the opponent scores 4+. If you have any inkling or hankering to bet the under, how in the world can you not go Giants and under in a parlay? Wow, there you go. 6-0 under in the last 6 game ones of a series, which tonight is Wetzel. Yep. Did we just talk ourselves into the public parlay winning?
I think so, man, right? This White Sox team, 30-95. Wow, they have lost 3 times as many games as they won. I really do think they're going to set. I'm surprised, Dave, that they have over-unders, right, for at least FanDuel does, for a few teams. I'm surprised with the Major League record being, 47, I think it is, that, like, they haven't had bets. Like, take advantage of the White Sox, right? They got bets on Paul Skeens. They got bets on Ohtani. They got bets on Judge. I'm surprised they haven't taken advantage of the futility of the White Sox and made some bets about them. Like, are they going to, give me an over-under of how many wins they're going to get on the season, whether it's home, on the road, whether it's total. Like what's going to be their longest losing streak from here on out? This team is atrocious. Or is it just, and I was talking to Joe Madden this weekend, and I, was kind of answering my own question in that maybe they just are losing so much money on the White Sox that they don't want to bring any more attention to this, and they want to steer clear of this team because this is a rarity, people. This is like even the year the Cleveland Browns went winless, they were at least challenging to cover the spread. And when the Lions went winless even a couple of years earlier, they were atrocious. But you don't get this. This team is just like bad. I mean, just it's an automatic play. You don't get that often, with the boys in Vegas. You really don't.
I don't know what we would come up with, but this would be something fun. And if you guys, at FanDuel or DraftKings are watching the show, one, thank you. But two, make sure you send Wetzel the consultant's check, for the S&W Corporation, please. You can reach him at Opposite Picks on the Twitter. I'm at SportsBK. You could put up an adjusted season win total. Peralt and I did it, and it's on Bostonian versus the book, which is on tonight after Gabe and Cam. But we talked about it today. I think they're going to at least tie the record. When we went through it, they have to win, I believe it's 12 games to get at least to tie it, 42 wins. I mean, look at the schedule and go, how are they going to do this? This is going to be a problem. I mean, they're going to win one. If they win 2 games of a series, of the 9 series left, they got a shot. But they haven't won 2 games in a series since like May or something like that. So I don't know. What would we make the adjusted season win total? 40?
They got 125, so what's that? 35, 45, 55. So they got 37 games left. Yeah, 10 and 27, basically 1 out of every 3.
Right. There you go.
The thing that they have, which says yes, is they finish up with Oakland, Angels, San Diego, Angels, Detroit. Outside of the Padres series, they have a shot there. We'll talk more about it when we come back to InGame Live.
These preseason games often just come down to a team will get inside the 5-yard line and they go for it. Like nobody's ever, like in the real world, the Falcons would have kicked the field goal.
And hit this thing right down to the middle. We talked about these games being close, decided, maybe a tie. Like that's the whole thing. You talked about it, Merrill. These lines are moving like not just 1 or 2 points. Like this is significant stuff.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
We looked borderline unprepared the end of the game. We didn't know how to match up. We didn't know how to switch that at half court. And when Gabby Williams got the ball, hit that long 3 to funnel her to the basket to keep that is on the staff, but it's also in the fact that we did not think we were in that or going to be in that situation.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Hey, let's say it comes down for Matt Kuchar in the FedEx Cup ball. Let's say he doesn't make a cut, and it comes down to 1 shot. And
that's a good point.
And he keeps his card for the top 125 because he did make the jump from, I think it was 113 to 103. So he made a 10-spot jump. So he's got, 17, or let's see, that was not good math. He's got about 20.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
It feels like everybody's running to Houston, and that worries me a lot. The expectations for this Texans team, given where they were a couple of years ago, is kind of scary, is it not?
I was at least looking for a number. I think the best one I found was plus 850. And then Super Bowl-wise, I think it was 16-1. I think if they make it, they would probably be the favorites.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back InGame Live, prime time here on the grid. Scott Wetzel, Dave Sharapan, looking at a little baseball as we got Arizona 5-2 over the Marlins. That was tough on the bet because Arizona wasn't saying who they were going to pitch. Not that it probably mattered against Miami, but a little weird about that one. But they're up to a 5-2 lead, bottom of the 6th. Did like Toronto today, Dave, 2-2 against Cincinnati right now. They just got it locked up. Bottom of the fifth inning they go. Kevin Gossman, I should say, has really played very well. They've won his last 6 starts. He's in a nice group. He would be one of those guys, waiver wire, if Toronto decided they're going to shut things down and get rid of everybody, or he would be one that I think would definitely be picked up, and maybe they could kind of work out a trade. Maybe he could clear waivers. Maybe someone would claim him. But he's pitched very well. So 2-2, bottom of the fifth. I like Toronto. Like I said, it's locked now. Love the Metsies. I did their team total, which I don't do too much, Dave. I did their team total over 4.5 against Trevor Rogers, who's been brutal. They just scored again. Yep. It's 3-0 top of the fifth. Any thoughts on those games?
Yeah, Mets seemed pretty easy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that was one, and obviously the Diamondbacks I liked against the Marlins, but no, I mean Red Sox, probably Texas and Kansas City. Those were the games I really kind of focused on today. I mean, sometimes you just take a pass on them early games and let it go. We got a couple late ones too the marquee matchups are later, I think.
Right. Seattle and the Dodgers, that's the one that kind of jumps out, right? That should be a lot of fun.
Minnesota, San Diego is a really good baseball game too. I've been watching a lot of the Padre games at night and trying to figure out if they're going to catch the Dodgers. So yeah. I don't know. I figured when I looked at the card, I was like, Wetzel's got to have this in the same game parlay, right? Like you have to have one of the two. Am I right?
I have the Dodger. Who did I do today? You know what? I did something I rarely do. But I doubled down on same game parlay and Black Cloud. Yeah. I'll tell you who it's going to be. It's going to be the White Sox and the San Fran game, right? The White Sox are so bad, as we were talking before, obviously. Excuse me. So bad, a little cold here. But they are so bad that we can't let the rest of the season go and then at the end of the year say, man, how did I win money? I got a team that won literally 40 games and 122 losses, and I'm losing money, and I didn't win a baseball. So they're at that point where it's just you got to take advantage. I told you before, you don't get winning opportunities like this. In the NBA, they'll just make the point spread, 30. In a basketball game. So you can't do that. Football, they'll make the point spread, 15. Who wants to lay that? In hockey, right. You got to lay the odds in hockey. You don't get that many kind of mismatch matches. But baseball, they don't have any repercussion. As long as they give you a number that's not like, 10-1, you could just keep betting against them. So, yeah, long story short, I doubled down. I did San Fran, and then I used San Fran in the Black Cloud as well. So.
Okay.
But
what'd you think
how
of
do you explain
preseason?
the Padres losing 2 or 3 to Colorado? That's what you know how many parlays were ruined by that weekend? Right?
You can't explain that. Cannot explain that. We got to the other thing you cannot explain is the NFL preseason. You cannot explain what the hell happened with the NFL preseason, right? I mean, you came up with these numbers. There's the league trends right there. Good job, boys. Under 63 and 38. Yeah, that's pretty good. 14-2 over the weekend. Totals at under 37. What did that say? Over 37. Wow. Look at that. Yeah. I mean, you don't even need to think, Wetzel. Just go to the window and hit the under.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to ask you, Dave. Unders this past week, including Thursday, obviously, 13-3 for the season. Yeah. Right, we've had 32 preseason games, not counting the Hall of Fame game, which didn't get finished anyway. 25 unders, only 7 overs.
Right.
2 questions. 1, does that continue again next week? And we just not bet 16 unders, but just look for unders. And 2, is that a sign of what's going to happen in the regular season?
I don't think we can take anything and translate it from the preseason to what's going to be in the regular season. I don't think we can make that judgment yet. I know we wouldn't in the book. I would be very cautious to people that will just take that number and say it's going to apply in week 3. Be very cautious.
13-3 and 12-4 in 2 weeks. Mark Zinno coming up next. We'll ask his thoughts.
These preseason games often just come down to a team will get inside the 5-yard line and they go for it. Like nobody's ever, like in the real world, the Falcons would have kicked a field goal.
And hit this thing right down to the middle. We talk about these games being close, decided, maybe a tie. Like that's the whole thing. You talked about it, Merrill. These lines are moving like not just 1 or 2 points. Like this is significant stuff.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
We looked borderline unprepared the end of the game. We didn't know how to match up. We didn't know how to switch that at half court. And when Gabby Williams got the ball, hit that long three to funnel her to the basket to keep that is on the staff, but it's also in the fact that we did not think we were in that or going to be in that situation.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Hey, let's say it comes down for Matt Kuchar in the FedEx Cup fall. Let's say he doesn't make a cut, and it comes down to one shot. And
that's a good point.
And he keeps his card for the top 125 because he did make the jump from, I think it was 113 to 103. So he made a 10-spot jump. So he's got, 17, or let's see, that was not good math. He's got about 20.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
It feels like everybody's running to Houston, and that worries me a lot. The expectations for this Texans team, given where they were a couple of years ago, is kind of scary, is it not?
I was at least looking for a number. I think the best one I found was plus 850. And then Super Bowl-wise, I think it was 16-1. I think if they make it, they would probably be the favorites.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. InGame Live, PrimeTime here on the grid on a Monday evening. Scott Wetzel, Dave Sharapan, joined now by our good buddy Mark Zinno. You hear all the time, see all the time here on the grid, especially on Sunday nights. What's going on, Mark? How are you on this Monday evening?
Gentlemen, doing very well. Returned from Las Vegas. Great to see the immortal Dave Sharapan in person. So we got to hug it out and sit down and break some bread together. And, of course, we're back to life as normal, where guys and teams I bet on can't get 2 out base hits.
Was unbelievable, Wetzel. We did the show, while you were gone, and it was a crazy night because there were 4 things that Wetzel or that Zinno said he told the kids. And
4 things.
I can't remember all of them. What are they, Zin?
Eat your vegetables, do your homework, cover the number, and 2 out base hits win World Series.
And it continually happened where the team that did not get 2 out base hits, Zinno was on, and they lost. Right. They didn't win. Yep. They didn't cover. Zin, who do you have in the Royals game tonight?
I got the Royals minus 1.5.
How'd the first inning go?
Bases loaded. 2 outs. Oh, no. No 2 out base hit. So, again, you go up 2-0 right there. We're sitting pretty from the beginning. Now you're hanging around. I mean, look, I still got a lot of confidence in the bet. I mean, the Royals are one of the highest scoring teams at home in Major League Baseball. You're talking about, top 5 in runs scored, top 10 in home runs hit at home, OPS, WRC plus, and batting average. So they should be able to take advantage of the Angels pitching here. I have some concerns about 2 things. One, the Royals maybe coming in for a little bit of a letdown after the sweep at Cincinnati, but, I had to trust the fact that they play much better at home. And, the other part here is that the Royals bullpen is so, I mean, I need the Royals offense to play with a lead, right? I can't expect them to play from behind and try to get back in this thing. So getting out to an early lead was kind of, paramount. I was almost going to go first 5, which would have made me a little bit more on edge had they not got that 2 out base hit in the first inning. But, we got a long game here, and the Angels have all but quit, knock on wood, at this point in time. that they're just mailing it in, and the Royals still fighting for a wild card spot should be able to get there. I mean, look, this is a team right now, guys, that's 5 wins shy of their team total win prediction at 73.5, 74.5, 5 or 6 wins shy for the season already, and we're not even going to turn the calendar to September, and they're going to get there. So, yeah, I mean, I'll trust the teams that I've trusted for a better part of this season.
No qualms. I know some guys, Mark, just won't lay, and I don't really agree with this, but I know some guys won't lay a 1.5 with the home team. You don't have any issue with that?
No, I don't. I mean, look, the matchup is so lopsided that if they're not leading by a considerable margin, then I don't deserve to win the bet.
Right.
I shouldn't need the last at bat here. I shouldn't need the Royals against the freaking Angels to need the 9th at bat. Their offense is too good at home against a subpar starting staff. And a guy who started tonight, he's only made 6 starts this year. He's got an ERA of around 9 at home this year, even as a reliever and a starter. So he hasn't been good. I mean, this shouldn't come into play here. I mean, guys get so hung up on that last at bat thing. I'm not betting it because I think the last at bat's coming into play. I'm betting it because it should be done well before the 9th inning. I mean, look, it's all correlated, right? Like, at the end of the day, if the Royals only score 4
I agree with you. I agree. I don't think Dave does. Dave doesn't sound like he's buying it, but I agree. Yeah.
It's like good enough. Your bullpen isn't good enough to keep a team to 2 runs on the regular. So them scoring 5 should be easy here.
Right. It's like in hockey, why I like betting, teams to win in regulation at a bigger discount than winning, right? Because I'm not betting because I think the team's going to win in overtime. I'm betting because I think they're the better team. So, all right, I'll have it, have less odds or even positive odds to win in regulation. Same thing.
Yeah.
But Dave's not buying it.
It doesn't phase.
No, I just think that there's just guys that are adamantly against it. I'm not saying there's one way to do it or another. I think there are times where it is the better play, and you just don't want to lay the price. So everybody's different.
Well, and that's the thing. It's more about price with that, though, honestly. I mean, I'm getting -1.5 at even money. If I had to lay a half run in the first 5, I'm still paying like -130, -140.
Right.
So, again, I mean, sure, I could cut the game in half, but at a risk where it's even money, I'm like, okay, this shouldn't come down to the 9th inning.
Late games coming up.
Yep.
Seattle and the Dodgers is the game of the night. Minnesota, San Diego is going to be a good baseball game too. Do you like anything in either one of those, sir?
I am looking at the Dodgers and Mariners first 5 under. Now, I haven't been shy about fading Dodgers starters at all this season. However, for me here with this game, I kind of like Gavin Stone in this spot because it's the Mariners. And because what do the Mariners do better than any other team in baseball? Strike the hell out. And that's something that just kind of keeps them. I bet the Mariners yesterday, okay, in the first 5 because I had to lay a little bit of a price there. I got it down to -120, and they ran away with the 10 runs. So what should happen to Seattle here is some regression because they're not that good of an offense. But you get Brian Wu on the mound, whose numbers are excellent on the road. They're even more phenomenal at home. But they're excellent on the road, a 2.52 ERA, holding opposing hitters to a 2.29 average. And in his night starts this year, guys, he's got a 1.93 ERA in 10 starts. So the only guy who's got a hit off him is Shohei Ohtani. Now, it was a home run, so I hope he keeps him in the ballpark. But, again, I'm expecting some regression here from the Seattle lineup. And Stone was really good in his last outing. And facing the highest strikeout percentage team in baseball here, I think we get some low scoring. And I'll tell you what, guys, this thing was open at 8.5. It's down to 8, which makes me feel even better here as we start this game. So I took the first 5. I got under 4.5 this morning. I don't know if the 4.5s are still available with it being at 8. You may have to pay a little bit more juice to get it. But I like the spot that I'm in here between these two teams.
All right. Are we drinking the Kool-Aid on the Denver Broncos and Bo Nix?
It's not a question of Kool-Aid. It's just a question of very simply like, this feels like too low of a number for a team that won 8 games last year with pretty average to below average quarterback play. I mean, here's a couple of things in their schedule that work out really well. One, they're playing the NFC South. So they get the Panthers and the Saints, right? So if they split with the NFC South, that's 2 wins right there. Now, if they end up beating Tampa Bay, which I think is a realistic possibility because I don't think Tampa Bay is going to be that good, imagine they steal 3 wins. That's half what they need right there. Let's just say, for argument's sake, they steal 2 division wins, whether it's against the Raiders and they steal 1 from Los Angeles or KC. Well, now I just got to find one other win in the schedule. They host Indianapolis at home in December, and I think Indianapolis is going to be good. I think they're a little bit undervalued. But you also got a dome team going outdoors in elevation in the middle of December, so that's a huge advantage for Denver. And then somewhere along the way, they get Seattle and Pittsburgh earlier in the year, right? I mean, those feel like winnable games. And, oh, by the way, they play the Chiefs in Week 18 in a game most likely the Chiefs won't need to play anybody because their situation is going to be settled. So I feel like I got enough outs here in this schedule to get me over 5.5 wins. Again, and I also have the best schemer and play caller in the NFL in Sean Payton. And as I said last year, this
and you got
guy –
you got a good head coach, too.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not saying Denver's going to be impressive. I don't think they get much more than 6. Maybe they get 7, but this isn't a team that's going to be in playoff contention. I just think the number is too low. If it was at 6.5, I would probably walk away from it. But at 5.5, I feel like I got a couple of extra outs here, even with Bo Nix starting. So, again, I think this team's a little bit undervalued from that perspective. Their defense is still good. They're obviously going to have a running game. And Bo Nix is mobile enough to make things happen on his own and create some plays. So I looked at that and I just said to myself, yeah, the schedule looks too light for me to think that there's not 6 wins here.
You got 30 seconds. What was your favorite flavor Kool-Aid as a kid? Was it orange for the Orange Crush or was it red?
Grape.
Grape?
Yeah.
Grape. I knew you were. I was going to say grape is the favorite.
Yeah. Just give me the purple stuff.
Yeah. There you go. The good thing about the Broncos, and I agree with you, the good thing about they have the losing games on the road. They're not beating Cincinnati on the road. They're not beating Kansas City on the road. Well, they get at home as well. They're not beating Baltimore on the road. They got the winnable games at home, and that translates to getting some of those wins. So I think it works out well. Mark, great job, man. I appreciate a couple of moments with you tonight. We'll do it again soon.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Bye, man.
Tell the boys I said hello.
These preseason games often just come down to a team will get inside the 5-yard line and they go for it. Like nobody's ever, like in the real world, the Falcons would have kicked the field goal.
And hit this thing right down to the middle. We talk about these games being close, decided, maybe a tie. Like that's the whole thing. You talked about it, Merrill. These lines are moving like not just 1 or 2 points. Like this is significant stuff.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
We looked borderline unprepared the end of the game. We didn't know how to match up. We didn't know how to switch that at half court. And when Gabby Williams got the ball, hit that long three to funnel her to the basket to keep that is on the staff, but it's also in the fact that we did not think we were in that or going to be in that situation.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Hey, let's say it comes down for Matt Kuchar in the FedEx Cup ball. Let's say he doesn't make a cut, and it comes down to one shot. And
that's a good point.
And he keeps his card for the top 125 because he did make the jump from, I think it was 113 to 103. So he made a 10-spot jump. So he's got, 17, or let's see, that was not good math. He's got about 20.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
It feels like everybody's running to Houston, and that worries me a lot. The expectations for this Texans team, given where they were a couple of years ago, is kind of scary, is it not?
I was at least looking for a number. I think the best one I found was plus 850. And then Super Bowl-wise, I think it was 16-1. I think if they make it, they would probably be the favorites.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. InGame Live, PrimeTime here on the grid. Scott Wetzel and Dave Sharapan until 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Thanks again, Mark Zitto. You see him all the time here on the grid on Sunday nights, generally between 8 and 10, but different times throughout the show programming hours. We'll get back to the baseball here in a second, Dave, but I do want to throw this out. I kind of kick myself. I really do, because there is one over-under in the NFL, and obviously, as all these shows, we get closer to the start of the season, the NFL will take over. But there is one over-under that I kind of regret I didn't play sooner, and that's the New England Patriots. After watching them again Thursday, and then watching them last week, and then watching them all last year, they had 5.5 as their number. And when I turned that TV set off Thursday night, it was just like, there is no way in the world that team is winning 6 games, right? I rushed to the window. My situation is the last few days has been kind of crazy, but I was home Thursday night. I rushed to the window, and I see the numbers down to 4.5. And I'm like, oh, fudge. Because I'm pretty sure it was 5.5. Was it not with the Patriots? I don't know if you know for sure or not.
Not out here.
No? Was it always 4.5?
No.
Okay, I won't feel as bad then.
It was either 4.5 with juice to the over or 5 flat. Because 5 is the number. Peralt and I have gone over this thing like 10 times. And he made a case today on BVB that they're going to go over because of the defense.
Oh.
And I was come on.
No way.
The defense is going to be on the field so much. And believe me, seeing bad Steeler offense for the last few years. And, with quarterbacks that weren't ready, which is kind of, if it's not Jacoby Brissett, it's going to be Drake May. He's not ready. So it wears out. Like they're good. If they have the best defense in the league, the way the game is officiated today, the way the game is played today, if they're not going to score 20 points, they're not going to win many games. And they're going to struggle to score 20 points in a lot of games. Yeah. So it's funny. You said there is no way that they could do it. And that reminded me of Jackie Gleason when he was in Smoking the Bandit. And he told, the deputy of son, there's no way you could come from my loins. I'd say that is a classic line. If you guys haven't seen Smoking the Bandit, go watch it. It's a classic movie. It's timeless. It's funny. There are so many good lines. It just reminded me of that. But what is the way that they do win games? One of the other teams in the division has to have a bad injury, right? I mean, do the Bills fall off? Do the Dolphins fall off? Do the Jets fall off? I don't know. But in the division, Patriots could go 1-5 in the division.
Yeah. They go winless. I mean, I look at it this way, right? Like 5 wins is not a lot of wins. Well, 5 wins is not a lot, right? So how do you got to reason it? Because, 5-12 is pretty darn bad. But are they going to get to 5? Here's what I ask myself. Are they going to win any road games? Are they winning at Cincinnati? No. Are they winning at Miami? At Buffalo? At the Jets? And they play the Jets early when Aaron Rodgers, week number 3, figures to still be healthy? No. Are they winning at San Francisco? No. Okay? They have, unlike Denver, as I was telling Mark, where they have the games you could play on the moon, you're going to lose. They have those games on the road, Denver, so that's good. I mean, get them on the road. What's the difference? We're going to lose anyway. The Patriots have it the other way around. They have the winnable road games, winnable games, Tennessee, Chicago. Like if you looked at the Patriots schedule and I said, give me the 3 worst teams they're going to face: Tennessee, Arizona, Chicago. They're playing all 3 on the road. Those are the games you want at home because they're winnable. The games they have on the road, they're not going to win those other ones, and the home games they're not going to win. They're not beating the Rams at home. They're not beating the Houston Texans at home. They're not beating Jacksonville. Although that game's overseas, they're not beating even Seattle. So all these home games, they're not beating these teams no matter where they play them. So if they go, let's say they get 1 win out of Chicago, Tennessee, and Arizona, right? We'll be generous. They'll get 1 out of the 3. That still means they got to get 4 wins at home. They got to go 4-4 at home. That team is not going 4-4 at home. I mean, you look at their opening schedule, Dave. The only thing, and this is another thing, if you think, well, maybe down the line, Scott, okay, but I would bet the under 5 or 4.5 now. Their schedule starts at Cincinnati, loss. Seattle at home, I think that's going to be a loss. At the Jets, loss. At San Francisco, loss. Miami and Houston at home lost. They're opening up 1-6, 1-5, whatever it is. If they're lucky with that Seattle game, then that line comes down to 3.5 or so, and then maybe then you can bet the over, and get yourself a middle if you're not comfortable with 4.5. But I don't see it. I just they're awful, and I think Drake May is going to suck. So that's the only way. If Drake May somehow or another turns into C.J. Stroud, maybe. Who expected this from C.J. Stroud, right? Nobody. So maybe, but he has no weapons. I don't see it. I just don't see it.
Yeah,
Rookie head coach, either. Right?
Oh, I just saw Corey Seager hit another home run. Corey Seager's 2 for 2 with 2 home runs. It's a 3-run homer. The Rangers lead 4-0 against the Pirates.
I thought it was a solo shot. Your Pirates are killing us here.
3. Yeah, well, Ortiz is one of those pitchers. It's either hit or miss.
Though.
And when he misses,
right.
Well, when he's on, he's real good. But when he's miss, it's real bad. It's usually a big number. So I hate to even hit refresh and see what the Rangers number is right now. Sorry. I just, yay.
It's big.
Okay. Minus 20 to 1.
200.
18. Yeah.
2,200.
Thanks. Yeah, that's great. It's the 3rd inning. Boy,
they lost 7 straight road games. They do this, Dave. I said this the other day, either on a podcast or one of the shows. Every single year, it seems like, recently anyway, that they play well, and they get to like early August, and the bottom just drops out. They just run out of gas, this Pirate team. Same thing has happened again this year.
May have to adopt the Mets. May have to do it.
Wow. Jordan Vinny with the dark side. Well, the dark side would be the Stankies. Mets we can live with. We can adopt the Mets.
Can't do it.
We need the Mets to get 2 more runs tonight, over 4.5. And they got they're stuck on 3 against Trevor Rogers, who stinks.
Whoa!
I think Game Live. Pull that hour number 1 next.
These preseason games often just come down to a team will get inside the 5-yard line and they go for it. Like nobody's ever, like in the real world, the Falcons would have kicked a field goal.
And hit this thing right down to the middle. We talked about these games being close, decided, maybe a tie. Like that's the whole thing. You talked about it, Merrill. These lines are moving like not just 1 or 2 points. Like this is significant stuff.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
We were borderline unprepared the end of the game. We didn't know how to match up. We didn't know how to switch that at half court. And when Gabby Williams got the ball, hit that long 3 to funnel her to the basket to keep that is on the staff, but it's also the fact that we did not think we were in that or going to be in that situation.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Hey, let's say it comes down for Matt Kuchar in the FedEx Cup ball. Let's say he doesn't make a cut, and it comes down to 1 shot. And
that's a good point.
And he keeps his card for the top 125 because he did make the jump from, I think it was 113 to 103. So he made a 10-spot jump. So he's got, 17, or let's see, that was not good math. He's got about 20.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
It feels like everybody's running to Houston, and that worries me a lot. The expectations for this Texans team, given where they were a couple of years ago, is kind of scary, is it not?
I was at least looking for a number. I think the best one I found was plus 850. And then Super Bowl-wise, I think it was 16-1. I think if they make it, they would probably be the favorites.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Hi, welcome back in Game Live, prime time here on the grid on a Monday evening, getting set for even more baseball starting in a little while, including the subject of our Monday night special, Dark Cloud. Yes, dark and black. We're going to head out to San Francisco, where the 49ers/Giants are hosting the Chicago Bears/White Sox. And it might as well be the Chicago Bears, the way the White Sox are played this year. Listen, you have to do it. You just have to. There isn't a number that you could possibly come up with, honestly. I challenge the viewers and listeners out there. Come up with a positive Chicago White Sox number. If you can, you're a better man than I. We can't lay the minus 245, although I must say I'm a little surprised that number is actually that low. So we'll lay the minus 105. White Sox are 30-95. You know the numbers. 12-51 on the road. San Francisco is actually a very good home team. 36-27 at home. The White Sox have 1-58 of their last 59 games. Their win this weekend, in which they actually won a game, was the first time in literally 4 months that they won a game in which the opposition scored 4 runs. So are the White Sox or the Giants going to score 4 runs against 2-6 Jonathan Cannon? Yeah, I think they will. White Sox 12-63 as underdog. I mean, everything. It's keep beating San Fran's battling for a playoff spot. There's no way they can lose. There's just no way. They got one of their better pitchers in Kyle Harrison on the hill. Lay the run and a half at a decent price, minus 105 at home. San Francisco, Black Cloud play of the day.
Wow. Okay. I'm glad it's not the money line, because that one would have been a hard one to stomach. But I don't. This one gives me that queasy feeling, which means it's going to be a sweat. This isn't going to be easy. Oh yeah, this isn't going to be easy. No.
Because of Harrison,
no. The first
or for a first game of the series? Yeah.
For all the above. It just.
But think about this.
Saw the number.
San Fran was in Oakland yesterday, whereas the White Sox were in Texas against Houston. So they had to fly all the way from Houston, whereas at least San Francisco just took a trolley back home. So that's another thing in our favor.
Very true. Oh, listen, the play makes perfect sense. It's just that when you make it the Black Cloud play, that's when you get nervous.
Special things happen,
right? Like I mean, that's it's like if this was just in a same game parlay or something, I feel a little bit better about it. But I really like the under 6-0 under in the last 6 games. All of it makes sense. The play makes sense. Sometimes the argument is perfect, and then the game is played and something goes sideways and you don't get there. But I like the play. I just, now that it's the Black Cloud, I did the Black Cloud without you on Friday, kept it right in theme. It just, they lost the game. They couldn't get a hit. Yeah. It just, I was like, how did I do that? I didn't even mean to do that. And I did it. So I'm hoping it wins, obviously.
All right. I think it will. I do think it will. Although I must say, Kansas City scored 1-0 top of the 4th. So that's off to a halfway decent start. That's up to now 460. So if you were kind of hoping that the Angels would score, that's the downside of it. If they don't score and the other team scores, now it's really unbettable. Now they're minus 5-1. So then you got to hope. That people always think, all right, we'll just wait until they let the other team score first. Well, what happens if the other team doesn't score? Now you don't have a bet on a game that may end up being like 7-1 Kansas City, and you're sitting there thinking, well, that was stupid. I loved them the whole time. I'm waiting for the dopey Angels. Betting's funny. Yeah. It really, you get so many different little angles and theories and thinkings. It's just, drive yourself nuts. So, I don't normally play the run line, or not the run, but I normally don't play team total. And I did tonight with the dopey Mets because I just figured Trevor Rogers has been awful. He's allowed 12 runs in 14 innings with the Baltimore Orioles since they acquired him from Miami. When he was with Miami, he was awful. I mean, he's been brutal, right? There's no freaking way the Mets are not going to get at least 4.5 or 5 runs, right? So I didn't want to play around and think, okay, the Mets will lose 7-6 or something dopey like that. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to bet their team total. It's 3-1, bottom of the 6th. This dopey team can't hit anybody. And now that, What's his face? Rogers is out of the game, so now I got to hope the Mets score 2 more runs. Otherwise, they're going to win 3-1 in a game in which if I just bet the Mets, I probably would have won. Instead, I go team total, and now I might lose.
I love when you have these conversations with yourself. I love them. I love when you do that.
It really is. It's agita. It is. Hour number 2 coming up next.
These preseason games often just come down to a team will get inside the 5-yard line and they go for it. Like nobody's ever, like in the real world, the Falcons would have kicked the field goal.
And hit this thing right down to the middle. We talk about these games being close, decided, maybe a tie. Like that's the whole thing. You talked about it, Merrill. These lines are moving like not just 1 or 2 points. Like this is significant stuff.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
We looked borderline unprepared the end of the game. We didn't know how to match up. We didn't know how to switch that at half court. And when Gabby Williams got the ball, hit that long 3 to funnel her to the basket to keep that is on the staff, but it's also the fact that we did not think we were in that or going to be in that situation.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Hey, let's say it comes down for Matt Kuchar in the FedEx Cup fall. Let's say he doesn't make a cut, and it comes down to one shot. And
that's a good point.
And he keeps his card for the top 125 because he did make the jump from, I think it was 113 to 103. So he made a 10-spot jump. So he's got, 17, or let's see, that was not good math. He's got about 20.
Not a bad one. The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
It feels like everybody's running to Houston, and that worries me a lot. The expectations for this Texans team, given where they were a couple of years ago, is kind of scary, is it not?
I was at least looking for a number. I think the best one I found was plus 850. And then Super Bowl-wise, I think it was 16-1. I think if they make it, they would probably be the favorites.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. InGame Live, PrimeTime here on the grid. Scott Wetzel, Dave Sharapan. Hour number 2 of our 2-hour extravaganza. Baseball taking center stage. Oh, we talked a little football there with Mark Zinno in hour number 1. We got George Kurtz coming up in about 15 minutes or so. We'll do a little baseball, maybe some NFL talk with him. Then we got our good buddy Cam Stewart in about 45 minutes, and we'll do the same with him. Hopefully get some winners from both those guys as we try and produce some winners for you over the next 60 minutes. Speaking of winners, and maybe not a jinx that day, but look at your Pittsburgh Pirates left for dead 5-10 minutes ago, making a game of it. I'm assuming 3-run homer because I didn't see 4-1, 4-2. I just saw 4-3, but they're trailing Texas 4-3 now, top of the 4th inning.
Correct.
They were an 840, 850, something like that. They remember seeing Texas was minus 22-1 when they were up 4-0, and now it's 4-3. There you go.
Baseball is challenging, to say the least. Yeah, it was a 3-run homer. Trillo, hanging curveball from Dunning. Bye-bye. And as much as I try to fight it, it's still baseball season, like for me, for the Pirates. It's not over yet. I don't want to say it's done. It's officially football season in Pittsburgh with the Steelers and the QB question marks and all that other stuff. I mean, Skeens has another start left, so that's good, at least for now.
You.
Yeah, I mean that would be great. I hope so. So, yeah, it's not done yet. The Cy Young is done. That's done. That's wow. Those are the current odds. Jeez, what happened there?
That's pretty
Sale
good.
took over, a prohibitive favorite, minus 400.
Wow.
And
do they
the
not
books
know
moved
I have
up.
him at 18-1? Do they not know I have him at 18-1, Chris Sale? Couple of shots. Wow, that would be a nice little hit. See, they don't give me those odds here anymore. Yeah, all right. Way to go, Chris.
I mean, I don't want to tell you what to do, but like maybe grab some Zach Wheeler at 3-1 just in case, right? Just
I don't like it. There's something about Zach Wheeler I don't like. I think he's so overrated. You know, I'm used to seeing him with the Mets, I think. Right? I mean, he was okay with the Mets. I give the Phillies a lot of credit. They paid him like a ton of money. And I never thought he was that good. And he wasn't that good with the Mets. But he's turned into a much, much better pitcher with Philadelphia, I must admit. But I don't have, like, confidence. Like, when Chris Sale goes to the hill or Skeens goes to the hill, I know I'm getting a good outing. I'm not worried about Zach Wheeler. They can't give him the Cy Young. So.
Wow. That's
got to be somebody else. I don't know who it would be.
You're a baseball guy. He's a different guy now. He was a different guy at the Mets, and he's been he's a horse. The guy's a number one legit starter. Cy Young candidate. Like, he takes the ball and goes and wins. If he does it the rest of September, I think it would be worthwhile just to kind of float it out there in case Sale gets hurt. Or what if Atlanta doesn't make the playoffs? Sale can still win it?
That's my only concern. That's my concern. If they don't make the playoffs. And Philadelphia obviously will. So can we get 29 more strikeouts out of Skeens? He's got 121. What's that? 5 starts? 7, 8? Yeah, 5 starts, right? Are we going to get 5 starts out of him? At least 3 more, right? Is he pitching tomorrow or Wednesday?
So we're going to get
no.
He pitched Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. He's not pitching until Thursday, at least.
Thursday, fudge. All right, so he's going to go Thursday, then he's going to go the following Tuesday, we'll say, and then maybe
they're going 5 days off in between. I mean, they're going like he's getting an extra day's rest. He has been, so you may run out of.
We get 5 starts.
Run out of starts. Yeah.
That's why we need a team to win.
That's what you need. Yeah.
We need 5. And I think we'll get it. You know, got to keep people coming to the ballpark. And the other thing is, you don't want them to not get the Rookie of the Year. Cy Young's not happening, but Rookie of the Year, you know, he may need to pitch a couple of starts into September. Out of sight, out of mind. You know,
you would think so, but I don't know. I honestly
like his numbers
do
are
not
that
know.
Great.
Yeah. Well, we shall see. Yeah.
That's
I don't
a big
know.
play. All right. Can't believe the Blue Jays are losing 6-2. Kevin Gausman. Stinks.
Happens.
To the Reds.
Happens.
Yeah. Ooh, Orioles just tied up the Mets 3-3. How about that? Home run.
Yeah.
That's good for my over 4.5 Mets total, though. Because now either extra innings or, give the Mets an incentive to score. David Peterson's still on the hill. He's done a good job for the Mets. Now I'm glad I bet the over. See, before I was ticked off. It was 3-1, and it looked like they were going to win 3-1. Now I'm thrilled I bet the over 4.5, right? Yeah, I'll take the chances now. Yeah, but
fast. It's funny how that changes, right? The baseball momentum is real. Did you look at the Tampa Bay in the Oakland Athletics game?
Yes.
Did you find a play in this?
Well, I like Oakland. I appreciate what Tampa Bay did this weekend.
Yes,
beating Arizona 3 in a row. Really, I don't know if you saw the game yesterday. Wow, what a wacky game! Thank goodness we only had. I do the Sunday shift with me and Joe Madden. We have literally like 3 games in 4 hours, right? I mean, it is. They really they challenge us. They do. But fortunately, this was one of them left over from the earlier games. There were so many back and forth, so many times, Dave, that it looked like each team was going to win in extra innings, only to screw up. The Devil Dogs had bases loaded, nobody out. They were like 10-1 to win. They don't score. Then Arizona had first and third, nobody out. They were like 10-1. I mean, in the middle of like 10-minute span, and they couldn't score. And eventually Tampa Bay did, so they win the game. But this goofy Oakland A's team, this guy Rooker he's a pro. He's a good player,
Right.
Brent Rooker. You know, 290 with 30 or so home runs. You know, they're 30 and 31 at home. They're on a 22 and 14 pace. Their last 36 games, they're 22 and 14, and that's against a lot of good teams. Yeah, they're actually not bad. And I'll throw you this one. You know, if you like goofy stats, right? A's 9-1. This is kind of like that the White Sox one. A's are 9-1 the last 10 opening games of series.
Okay. That may keep me off Tampa. I was leaning Tampa before. Winners bet all winners bet with streaks, losers bet against streaks. When you win 3 in a row, that's a streak in baseball for me.
Right.
So I was thinking you would be all over Tampa. Made a good case why not to. Maybe stay off of it. That's fine. Sometimes it's the best plays you make are the ones you don't, and that's good. I don't know. I think is that an under game? That's a dead under game, is it not?
Dead under, yeah. Tampa Bay, 5 more unders than overs. Oakland, 9 more unders than overs. So, and Oakland's on a 6-0 under home game run. So that's pretty good. Yeah, they haven't been hitting the ball lately. So, what do they give it? 8? Any kind of chance for 8? 7.5, is it?
7.5.
Yeah,
7.5. Do you think Kurtz has Tampa or Oakland?
I don't see him as an Oakland player. I don't see him as an Oakland. No, I don't. No, I think he's been Tampa Bay. He's seen Tampa Bay. He's in the Yankee division. He's not as coy as we are with our game numbers here.
Right.
He's saying Oakland stinks. I'm not betting Oakland. What are you kidding me? Give me Tampa Bay. Yeah, he's got Oakland, or he's got Tampa Bay. He's got San Diego. Well, he's got all the favorites. He might have Seattle. I think he's mentioned he likes this Brian Wu guy.
No chance. No.
None.
I'll bet you he has all 4 favorites.
All right, we'll find out when we come back. George Kurtz coming up.
These preseason games often just come down to a team will get inside the 5-yard line and they go for it. Like nobody's ever, like in the real world, the Falcons would have kicked the field goal.
And hit this thing right down to the middle. We talked about these games being close, decided, maybe a tie. Like that's the whole thing. You talked about it, Merrill. These lines are moving like not just 1 or 2 points. Like this is significant stuff.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
We looked borderline unprepared the end of the game. We didn't know how to match up. We didn't know how to switch that at half court. And when Gabby Williams got the ball, hit that long 3 to funnel her to the basket to keep that is on the staff, but it's also in the fact that we did not think we were in that or going to be in that situation.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Hey, let's say it comes down for Matt Kuchar in the FedEx Cup fall. Let's say he doesn't make a cut, and it comes down to 1 shot. And
that's a good point.
And he keeps his card for the top 125 because he did make the jump from, I think it was 113 to 103. So he made a 10-spot jump. So he's got, 17, or let's see, that was not good math. He's got about 20.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
It feels like everybody's running to Houston, and that worries me a lot. The expectations for this Texans team, given where they were a couple of years ago, is kind of scary, is it not?
I was at least looking for a number. I think the best one I found was plus 850. And then Super Bowl-wise, I think it was 16-1. I think if they make it, they would probably be the favorites.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
And welcome back in-game live prime time here on the grid. Scott Wetzel, Dave Sharapan for another 45 minutes or so. Looking at a little baseball, maybe a little NFL as well. We got the Cam Stewart coming up in about a half hour. George Kurtz now joins us now. He's got some baseball winners he's been sitting on. He emailed me earlier this afternoon and said, I'm only going to tell you guys I got baseball winners, baseball winners, baseball winners. So, come on, George. How are you today? How's your day going?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Scott is lying there. You want to know how my day is going, guys? Now, we're all about the same age. We're all married, families, and all that. Now, everybody knows my family's in the Philippines, right? I think I'm on day 15 now. They'll be back in about a couple of weeks. I get a text, and apparently my wife and my youngest daughter, they're fighting is too strong of a word, but they're I don't know, whatever. And I'm like, why? And then my wife could give me a FaceTime call. And my first thing is, what the hell did you do to your face? You know, she got her eyebrows done or something. I guess it's not completed yet. And my youngest is sending her pictures of Angry Bird. And she looks like Angry Bird. And I just started, I'm right in front of her. I just started laughing hysterically because you know what? She looks like Angry Bird. Yeah. I just can't stop laughing here. So that didn't help the situation at all.
No.
She looks like that. My wife has a sense of humor. She's fine. But my God, she does look like Angry Bird.
It's nothing worse than when the kids are right in an assessment and you laugh and you just like, and then, the wife looks at you like, why are you laughing? Well, because she's right. And then that usually, it's a good thing they're over there, George, and you're home handicapping baseball games and by yourself right now. There's a big favorite tonight. And this one, I just can't believe the number. It's the Black Cloud play of the night. Wetzel went and made it, the run line. You got the Giants tonight? You do, don't you?
It's hard not to have the Giants, and it is on the run line. I really couldn't find a great parlay partner, for us. So yes, I'm on the Giants. I don't, it's funny. I don't feel great about it. The Sox are playing a little better of late, for whatever it's worth here, a little better. And it's not like we have Blake Snell or Webb going for the Giants, right? We have Harrison, solid pitcher, but we don't have that number one guy there. So yes, I'm on the Giants. Certainly not the money line here, but I'll take the run line. It's pretty much even money. I think it's minus 105 now. So let's hope the Giants win by 2.
Yeah. How can't they? I see you got the over team total. I did that with the Mets tonight. Why did you go over team total Padres versus just the Padres minus 170 or minus a run and a half against Minnesota? Pretty good series too, right?
Yeah, the Twins aren't a bad team. If they had one of their better pitchers going here, I probably would have avoided this game altogether. But Mike King, the funny thing here, if the Yankees don't do any damage to the playoffs this year, and Juan Soto does leave, the Padres might just win that trade. Mike King has turned out to a pretty good starting pitcher here. I'm not talking an ace, but he might be a solid number 2 guy, a guy they're going to have for many, many years here. So the Padres might end up winning that deal. Like I said, it's a bunch of ifs there. The Yankees don't do damage in the playoffs, and Soto doesn't come back to the Yankees. It was just a matter of I'm picking against Matthews, right? The pitcher we've never heard of Twins. That's really what I'm going with here. If it would have been Lopez, it would have been Ober, it would have been Ryan, this might be a different conversation here. But I'll go with the Padres. They didn't play all that well against Colorado, get back home, maybe a little revenge here for what happened over the weekend. So once again, give me the Padres. I might hit the run line as well. We've got a couple of minutes here. I got about 20 minutes to do that. But I'm going to take the Padres going to score some runs against Minnesota tonight.
I got to ask you, because I know you were watching it yesterday, what are the Yankees going to do with the bullpen, George? I have to ask you. What was that? How many more times are you going to put them out there? I feel like this is going to be the downfall. This is going to be what's going to take this team down in October, let alone maybe cost them the division. But what are we doing with the bullpen, George?
This is why it's hard to like the Yankees. As Scott is choking like Clay Holmes did last night. It's hard to like the Yankees because not only the bullpen, Dave, but anybody trust the starting pitching? And I like the way everyone's talking about the Clay Holmes that he blew a save. And he did. And I was doing in-game live overtime last night. I have to remember the name of these shows, right? So I'm watching the game while doing the show. And I said many times, Yankees get the lead. We're going to have the Clayton Holmes experience. Because you know what he's going to do. He does it every time. He's going to put runners on base. It's amazing because this guy's ball moves like no other. But they hit him. For whatever reason, they hit him, especially when he throws a fastball that straightens out there. So, yeah, it's a problem there. He's blown the most saves in the American League, in baseball, actually. But what are you going to do?
Wow.
Who else is going to close? Name me another closer. If you put Luke Weaver there, who pitched the seventh inning? You put Tommy Canley there, who pitched the eighth inning. Either way, they're screwed. There's nothing they can do about this. But the Yankees are a team that have a hard time admitting that things are wrong. There are mistakes. Mistakes are being made here. I mean, I'll bring you two more things. One, we're talking about this. Why are we talking about the lack of offense again? Yankees scored 2 runs last night. They scored 6 runs in a 3-game series against Detroit. Those runs last night, by the way, were scored on I think they called it a wild pitch. It was a pass ball, but whatever, same difference. And because of a ghost runner. Only reason they scored last night. So they didn't score a legitimate run here. And Jason Dominguez, who they called up just for last night, both teams were allowed to have an extra player on the roster last night because of the Little League Classic there. They sent him back down. You tell me Dominguez isn't better than Verdugo? What are we doing here? What are we doing? You're afraid to admit that, hey, we traded for Verdugo. I don't want to admit I made a mistake there. Verdugo's got an OPS of less than 300 over the last 3 months. On the season, he has 10 home runs, 52 RBIs, 1 stolen base. He's not doing anything. He adds nothing to your team. Dominguez could be a catalyst, which, granted, was a very small sample size last year, but that's what he was last season.
Got a winner, Mets in Baltimore, tied at 3, 8th inning. Basically pick 'em.
I went with the Mets today up in Baltimore, big series over Boston. They survived. Once again, it was a small play on the Mets, and I hate betting games. This game was started a little late with the delay, and I thought there'd be a bigger delay, which always scares me here, so I didn't want to go anything bigger. I know someone who's been following was asking me if I thought Alonso would hit a home run tonight. I don't know if he did. I'm not following the game all that closely, but I have no home run plays in any games like tonight where I'm worried about the rain delay, worried about the heavy air keeping the ball down and not traveling.
Shame we're out of time. I was going to ask you about the Cowboys. I was going to ask you about the
Cowboys. Come back. You want to bring him back? Well, George will come back for another segment.
Sure. Bring back another one. I'll be miserable.
Yeah, George's got nothing going on. Come on back, George. We'll talk to George for a second.
These preseason games often just come down to a team will get inside the 5-yard line and they go for it. Like nobody's ever, like in the real world, the Falcons would have kicked a field goal.
And hit this thing right down to the middle. We talk about these games being close, decided, maybe a tie. That's the whole thing. You talked about it, Merrill. These lines are moving like not just 1 or 2 points. Like this is significant stuff.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
We looked borderline unprepared at the end of the game. We didn't know how to match up. We didn't know how to switch that at half court. And when Gabby Williams got the ball, hit that long 3 to funnel her to the basket to keep that is on the staff, but it's also in the fact that we did not think we were in that or going to be in that situation.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Hey, let's say it comes down for Matt Kuchar in the FedEx Cup ball. Let's say he doesn't make a cut, and it comes down to 1 shot. And
that's a good point.
And he keeps his card for the top 125 because he did make the jump from, I think it was 113 to 103. So he made a 10-spot jump. So he's got, 17, or let's see, that was not good math. He's got about 20.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
It feels like everybody's running to Houston, and that worries me a lot. The expectations for this Texans team, given where they were a couple of years ago, is kind of scary, is it not?
I was at least looking for a number. I think the best one I found was plus 850. And then Super Bowl-wise, I think it was 16-1. I think if they make it, they would probably be the favorites.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. InGame Live, prime time here on the grid. Scott Wetzel, Dave Sharapan, talking with our good buddy George Kurtz. And yeah, guys, they're doing this again that they did yesterday that I have not noticed before. And I want to bring it up before they flip it. We talked Mets and Orioles, right? So they're tied at 3, bottom of the 8th inning they go. And they're giving us an over-under of 7.5. Yesterday, and I'll be curious to see what they do with this game, they had that heading to the bottom of the 9th inning. Normally, this is FanDuel I'm talking, normally, guys, they would pull that over-under because we know what happens when it gets to extra innings, right? You get at least 2 runs, 2, 3, 4, 5 runs, whatever. But if they do give you an over-under, it's always 2.5 runs over the current total. But yesterday, there were 3 games in which they gave you 1.5 runs over. And like I said, they did it in the 9th, heading to the bottom of the 9th inning, which means, chances were pretty good that all 3 games, and they all went to overtime. Now, one did, Texas and Minnesota did end up only scoring 1 run, but the other 2 went way over. So is that something you'd want to hop on, George? And Dave, is that a glitch? Like, why all of a sudden are they giving us 1.5 runs over the total when all season long it's been 2.5 runs?
Yeah, it's funny. Last night, Brady and I we mentioned the same exact thing. We both hopped on it last night. So it was the same thing you did, yeah. I don't know why. Maybe Dave has an answer for us why, but, this is what we love, Scott, right? This is what you and I were hitting on a couple of years ago before they caught it. We were hitting on this all the time. You take your chance. It doesn't matter what game it is. I don't care who's playing. Assume that 2 teams get the ghost runner in. That's 2 runs, and then you win it automatically here. Assume they don't win. Nobody wins the game in the 9th inning. So absolutely, I'll be on it again here. I don't know if this is a glitch. It was just a short-term thing, but if they're going to let us have it, I'm going to take it.
Yeah, it might be. And it might be junior guy just kind of watching it and doing it. Everybody's taking vacation last week and this week trying to get ready for next week. So you may just get somebody that just didn't advance it or, dial it down or whatever they have to do. So I don't think we'll know more Wetzel next week. Like, watch it as we get, after. Ideally, everything comes back full force the week up leading up to Labor Day. College football, full slate, baseball, real games, like every night happening in the majority of the games, especially this year with the wild cards being so open. So I think that might have been a little glitch. I don't think it was a cricket or anything like that, but it might have been something. There might have been something there with it that could have been something, but it's gone.
Yeah, one of the other sites I like to monitor just for getting lines and stuff offshore. They have every other game with an over/under total, but not with that one. But FanDuel does. So that it might just be someone falling asleep at the wheel. I mean, God bless them, But if that gets to the 9th inning, you might not want to bet at bottom of the 8th, But if that gets to the 9th inning, like yesterday's games, the chances are real good you're going to get 2 runs. So I know you want to ask George about.
Wait, you're telling me? Let me jump in here real quick. So you see it on another site and it's not on that game.
Yeah, that game. No,
so
totally.
somebody may be doing it manually, and if you don't know what you're doing manually, or you are doing it quickly manually, baseball is the best to do because there's a rhythm, and you can actually put the number in, hit submit, and have it come up, take bets for 30 seconds, take it down. So this might be somebody doing a little business on their own, which is also possible, but also interesting. I'll just leave it at that.
There you go. 2 other games real quickly, George, before we get to the football. Anything on Dodgers, Seattle? And Dave and I have a little bet on Tampa Bay, Oakland, who you have. So who do you got in that game, if anybody?
Well, I guess the bet's going to be a push because I didn't take a side in the game, but I did take the over. I thought the over was kind of low. Oakland can hit. Bradley's been getting beat up a bit late, so I think we're going to get some runs in this game. With 7.5, I'm taking the over. Give me the over. I know it's Oakland. The marine air is cool and all that. The bull doesn't travel. Blah blah. You can't get me 8 runs tonight. God, they'll get me my 8 runs here. As far as the Dodgers in Seattle, hard not to take the under. Seattle still can't hit.
We only got like a minute left, and somehow we're just getting to the Dallas Cowboys.
I
What
know,
did you take
not even a
away?
minute.
Dallas Cowboys and the Las Vegas Raiders was here Saturday night. And George, we're out of time. Unbelievable, Wetzel. Take us out. Sorry.
Yeah. George, we'll get your thoughts next time. And we'll do it again, I'm sure, this week. Thanks, George.
These preseason games often just come down to a team will get inside the 5-yard line and they go for it. Like nobody's ever, like in the real world, the Falcons would have kicked a field goal.
And hit this thing right down to the middle. We talk about these games being close, decided, maybe a tie. Like that's the whole thing. You talked about it, Merrill. These lines are moving like not just 1 or 2 points. Like this is significant stuff.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
We were borderline unprepared the end of the game. We didn't know how to match up. We didn't know how to switch that at half court. And when Gabby Williams got the ball, hit that long three to funnel her to the basket to keep that is on the staff, but it's also the fact that we did not think we were in that or going to be in that situation.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Hey, let's say it comes down for Matt Kuchar in the FedEx Cup ball. Let's say he doesn't make a cut, and it comes down to one shot. And
That's a good point.
And he keeps his card for the top 125 because he did make the jump from, I think it was 113 to 103. So he made a 10-spot jump. So he's got, 17, or let's see, that was not good math. He's got about
Not a bad one. The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
It feels like everybody's running to Houston, and that worries me a lot. The expectations for this Texans team, given where they were a couple of years ago, is kind of scary, is it not?
I was at least looking for a number. I think the best one I found was plus 850. And then Super Bowl-wise, I think it was 16-1. I think if they make it, they would probably be the favorites.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back InGame Live, prime time here on the grid. Again, thanks to George Kurtz joining us. We'll talk to Cam Stewart in about 10 minutes. We'll do some baseball, some football, get his thoughts on the golf this past weekend. What a crazy finish to the FedEx, St. Jude Classic yesterday. That was kind of wild. So we'll see if Cam gave that out as a winner. But in the meantime, we got baseball games. We got 4 more games getting underway in the next half hour or so, including the one subject of our SGP same game parlay. Yes, a little SGP time. Listen, this is really a no-brainer, as we were talking before about San Francisco and the Chicago White Sox, right? I mean, these things are getting so ridiculous. The White Sox are just so bad. It's an over. You got to do it. You just have to do it. Take advantage of it. Now, you know how this thing works. They're not going to give you the real odds, but we're going to start with San Francisco. We did the black cloud. We're doubling down, which, Dave, we don't really do very often, but this is, unforeseen circumstances. So we did the black cloud with laying a run and a half. Same game parlay. We'll just take San Francisco minus the 245 against the pathetic White Sox. We know the numbers. No sense going over those again. Going to use San Francisco over 4.5 runs. I will say this, that they gave us decent numbers when I just started with those two. So it's over 4.5 runs. If the Giants are going to win, chances are very good they're going to get 5, right? So no brainer there. Then we're going to use Tyler Fitzgerald and to him to score a run, minus 150 for the Giants, and to get 2 bases, minus 110. He's one of those guys that the East Coast folks, who, Tyler, who, what, where, but he's pretty good. Then we're going to use Ramon to get a base hit. He's also one of their better players, minus 340. And I was looking for Willie Mays, and I was looking for Barry Bonds, and I was looking for all the others. I didn't see those guys, but I got Fitzgerald. I got Harrison to get 4+ strikeouts as well, and Ramon to get a base hit. So I lowered. Harrison's number was really 5.5, but I went soft on that and got it at 4 strikeouts at minus 490, just to bump the odds up there a little bit. There you go. So put it all together, and I turned the minus 245 favorite into a plus 423 same game parlay. What do you think?
And this pays what?
Plus 423.
420?
Yeah. 420, 423, whatever.
Yeah.
No? You got this bad feeling about this game. You're pretty good on these hunches. Yeah. You mentioned this before, and then things have kind of worked out.
You just said 420, 421. Today, 1986, Mr. Mom came out. When you remember that line, 220, 221, whatever it takes. You just said 420, 421, whatever it takes. It reminded me of that. It's on my mind. I'm doing a parlay calculator. I have it right here. Those prices should pay 11 to 1, almost 12 to 1.
Wow. So
just keep that in mind when you do the same game parlays. You're getting shaved a little bit with the prices. I don't know, Wetzel. I'm glad you didn't use the run line in this, because this one may finish 3-2. Right?
Right.
That's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about that. A low scoring game up in San Francisco. Okay. So not crazy about it, but that doesn't mean it's not going to win. You went a little bit far. It's 6 legs, 6 pieces, like you like to say.
You got it. They just, because when you do this, it's like 2.5 to 1, 3 to 1. It's like, that's why I put the 4 strikeouts in there. That bumped it up like 50 points, because that's completely separate from the batters, right? I mean, but it's like, you got to put so many in there in order to, to make it worth your while, right? I mean, if I wasn't going to do that, I might as well just let it run and a half and just go home with even money. My goal is to get it to at least 4 to 1. Like, I wouldn't do it unless it was 4 to 1 or higher on my parlays. So when I hit it, then I stop. So
all right,
I stopped at 6.
If that's the goal, that's what you want to do. You got there. All right, that's fine. That's we'll give you something to watch later tonight. Like will you even watch this game? Like, let's be serious.
Oh, yeah.
You're not watching.
Yeah.
Will you watch Giants, White Sox?
Well, I tell you, you know what I did find? By the way, they're doing it again. Bottom of the 9th inning, Baltimore Mets tied at 3, and they did this yesterday too. This is really weird. They're giving us 7.5, and they're giving us plus odds. They're even giving us plus odds at 7.5, plus 108.
On over?
That is just completely for the over. Right, for the over. Right? That's just completely different from what they've been doing all year long. I mean, all year that would be 8.5, because they know you're going to get at least 2 runs. Like, something's weird. Now, it was 2-1 over yesterday, so it's not like, it didn't come through. Although if they did it with the Stanky game, then it would be 2-2. So, but I will go over.
You're a huge favorite to score multiple runs. I mean, I think you're a huge favorite to score multiple runs. Very rarely is it. See, the total's off here. I don't have that available.
Yeah, here in New York, it's still 7.5, plus 116 now. It just went up. Do you think the Mets are going to score in the bottom of the 9th? They took it off yesterday once it did get to extra innings. But normally, what they've done is take it off once it got to the 9th. Like, bottom of the 8th generally was the cutoff point. Then they would take it off.
Yeah.
Right? Now they're not only not taking it off, they're giving it to you at 1.5 runs. Maybe the guy working this week doesn't realize they start with the runner on second base. Is that possible?
Anything is possible. I mean, seriously, anything is possible. But I'm with you. both teams are likely to score a run, right?
Right.
Like we've done this enough that with the extra inning rule, I'm waiting for it to pop up here at my book so I can play it. That's a play.
Right.
I think you should play it over.
Right.
You have multiple opportunities to get both teams to score, a 2-run homer, whatever happened. There were so many things. The number should be 8.5 if you even put the total up. But like that literally just started happening over the weekend. We've been doing the show how long? I've never seen that. It goes off at the bottom of the 8th. You got to make the bet right before the 8th. Bottom of the 8th or maybe 1 out. They turn it off and it never comes back up. Totals are done. So it's not in it. So wait, that happens. They actually put it up in the 9th inning?
Yeah, I'm seeing it right now. Now they made it minus 120 to go over bottom of the 9th, but it's still there. So they must be, I don't know, now they're afraid to go 8.5 because they had it at 7.5 at plus money. And now they're saying, well, we can't put it at 8.5 because now we're going to have to use 8.5 minus money or plus money. And now someone smart, 5 minutes ago is going to have a monster middle, at over 7.5 plus money and under 8.5 plus money. So now they're kind of stuck at 7.5 at minus 120. And we got 1 out in the bottom of the 9th.
That's good looking out. That's something we are going to have to keep a close eye on because as we continue to do this show, and, hopefully we're going to get to continue to do this show all the way through the rest of baseball season, we'll have an eye on that stuff because, Scott, I'll ask you this, and we can address it more with Cam too. Do you bet less baseball and other stuff as soon as football starts?
Those particular days, the Mondays and Thursday nights, Saturday and Sunday, absolutely. But the other days, no. The other days, I'll continue to monitor it, especially if my team, like this year, the Red Sox are in it. But I know where you're going with that. We'll talk to Cam about that. Cam, when we come back in game live, PrimeTime.
These preseason games often just come down to a team will get inside the 5-yard line and they go for it. Like nobody's ever, like in the real world, the Falcons would have kicked a field goal.
And hit this thing right down to the middle. We talk about these games being close, decided, maybe a tie. Like that's the whole thing. You talked about it, Merrill. These lines are moving like not just 1 or 2 points. Like this is significant stuff.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
We looked borderline unprepared the end of the game. We didn't know how to match up. We didn't know how to switch that at half court. And when Gabby Williams got the ball, hit that long 3 to funnel her to the basket to keep that is on the staff, but it's also the fact that we did not think we were in that or going to be in that situation.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Hey, let's say it comes down for Matt Kuchar in the FedEx Cup ball. Let's say he doesn't make a cut, and it comes down to 1 shot. And
that's a good point.
And he keeps his card for the top 125 because he did make the jump from, I think it was 113 to 103. So he made a 10-spot jump. So he's got, 17, or let's see, that was not good math. He's got about
20. The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
It feels like everybody's running to Houston, and that worries me a lot. The expectations for this Texans team, given where they were a couple of years ago, is kind of scary, is it not?
I was at least looking for a number. I think the best one I found was plus 850. And then Super Bowl-wise, I think it was 16-1. I think if they make it, they would probably be the favorites.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Welcome back, InGame Live, prime time here on the grid. Cam Stewart will join us in a couple of moments. Scott Wetzel and Dave Sharapan let you know. Every time you think the boys in Vegas, are making a mistake, asleep at the wheel, not knowing what they're doing, giving you a free winner. Mets hit a home run in the bottom of the ninth inning, a solo shot. They win 4-3. Game goes under that 7.5. That was such a great bet that we were talking about. I don't know how they knew, but they did. So 4-3 Mets win, and they don't go to extra innings, and we don't get 2 runs in extra innings, and I guess that's why they keep the 7.5 up there, right?
That's exactly
you take
why.
that chance when you bet it. It's a double bet. You're betting it goes to extra innings. So
I thought the game was in the 10th when you said it. That's why I was looking. So yeah, that was listen, that happens. That sometimes you put up numbers in a book and you're right. Sometimes you put up numbers in a book and you're wrong. But the good thing about being in the book is that you just keep opening up the next day. So there's times where, totals went 14-2 to the under. Were those numbers good? Like the best case scenario is if you have 16 games, you want to go 8-8. As the book, 8-8's great. There's juice everywhere. You're zigging when you're zagging. They're zagging when you're zigging. We're going over. It's supposed to be under. Under's supposed to be over. Those are awesome. One way or the other, like if it's 14-2 to the over of anything, then there's going to be, some bookies and Louis the Lips crying and, with bad numbers and blah, 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 blah. When it's 14-2 to the under, they're planning a Christmas trip with the kids, trying to figure out which island to go to. So works both ways. It's fine. Mets won. I know Vinny's happy. Mets fans are happy. They're good. That's fine.
Yeah. We have, just scrolling through real quickly. I tell you, they're smart. We only have 2 more preseason football games that are same conference games. We got Cincinnati and Indy on Thursday, and then we have what was the other one I just saw? Vikings-Eagles on Sunday.
Are you going to watch those games? Seriously?
Well, here's why I will. I did watch a little bit, but here's some great numbers. Since 2015, same conference games, 63 unders, only 38 overs, including 7-1 this year. Now, we've had a bunch of unders this year, so no matter what trend you come up with, you're going to get a good one. But there's something about the same conference teams playing each other that produces unders. I mean, 7-1 this year, and then, like I said, 63 and 38, that's 25 more unders than overs. That's good enough for me in my book. I am blindly betting those 2 unders.
Yeah. I'm not. I'll be immersed. No, I'll be immersed in the baseball and getting ready for regular season stuff. And I don't know. Are you excited about week 0 in college football? Like there's a couple games. They're different. Not mainstream games. Georgia Tech is playing Florida State, and that's the big game for. Yeah. I don't even like calling it week 0, but it's like the dress rehearsal for the big games that are coming up. I can't wait for the following week. There's going to be some really fun football games, and I don't know if you've heard, but like this LSU USC game here in Vegas. Neutral site game to start the season. Tickets are sold out. It's going to be incredible. Wow. They already announced that they're going to do the 2027 championship game here. So Vegas is getting more and more special event neutral site things. So, I'm working on the college stuff more than NFL preseason. It's a hard pass for me.
That's September 1st I'm looking at, right? Yeah, September 1st, LSU, USC. Like, why does, I don't understand college football. The NFL, again, NFL does everything right? They open up the season with a bang. They get the Super Bowl champs hosting a big game all by themselves. just to kind of welcome in the NFL, right? I really do like the 2 games on opening day, but they've gone back to 1. But okay, whatever. College football, on the other hand, is opening up with Florida State, Georgia Tech. Who cares? Montana State, New Mexico. Who cares? SMU, Nevada. I mean, and then to cap it off, your Saturday night special, Hawaii versus Delaware State. How about going to Delaware State to go play football? And you look at the schedule, you think, okay, we're going to play Topeka High and, maybe Delaware, big rivalry game, and maybe Rutgers. No, kids, we're going to Hawaii. What? Yeah, we're going to Hawaii. I'm going to Delaware State. I get a free trip to Hawaii? Delaware, how the hell did they ever schedule Delaware State and Hawaii? Those 2 ADs must know each other. But anyway, my point is,
know each other.
What are they're opening up with those 4 dopey games? Why? What's the point? What is the point of that?
I don't know. I've had this argument for 2 weeks with Matt on BVB.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's like, oh, we got college football. I'm watching this. I'm betting this. I'm this. I'm that. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Come on in. From the book standpoint, it's like, yeah, come in, make your bets. We got a number, lay it, take it, whatever you want. I mean, I think the real gold is actually the following week. There's a lot of games that I think, Penn State's playing West Virginia in West Virginia, and Penn State's like an 11 and a half point favorite. That's a pretty good game. Home dog might be live there, according to some people that I talked to. So, yeah, there's other games, and the whole weekend there is good. Clemson's playing Georgia, right?
Clemson, Georgia.
Yeah. It's another
I think
good
Georgia's
game.
not making the playoffs. That's my big prediction so far this year.
What?
Yeah, I don't think they're making the playoffs. Their schedule is tough. Forget about winning. Yeah, this is not like last year's cupcake schedule. They get some real football teams on their schedule. Does Georgia? I think they have 3 losses on their schedule, and I don't think they get in. Wow. How about that?
How about they get in with 3 losses? That'll be even bigger story.
That would be even bigger. Yes. Close up shop next.
These preseason games often just come down to a team will get inside the 5-yard line and they go for it. Like nobody's ever, like in the real world, the Falcons would have kicked the field goal.
And hit this thing right down to the middle. We talk about these games being close, decided, maybe a tie. Like that's the whole thing. You talked about it, Merrill. These lines are moving like not just 1 or 2 points. Like this is significant stuff.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
We looked borderline unprepared to end of the game. We didn't know how to match up. We didn't know how to switch that at half court. And when Gabby Williams got the ball, hit that long 3 to funnel her to the basket to keep that is on the staff, but it's also in the fact that we did not think we were in that or going to be in that situation.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Hey, let's say it comes down for Matt Kuchar in the FedEx Cup ball. Let's say he doesn't make a cut, and it comes down to 1 shot. And
that's a good point.
And he keeps his card for the top 125 because he did make the jump from, I think it was 113 to 103. So he made a 10-spot jump. So he's got, 17, or let's see, that was not good math. He's got about 20.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
It feels like everybody's running to Houston, and that worries me a lot. The expectations for this Texans team, given where they were a couple of years ago, is kind of scary, is it not?
I was at least looking for a number. I think the best one I found was plus 850. And then Super Bowl-wise, I think it was 16-1. I think if they make it, they would probably be the favorites.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Hi, welcome back. InGame Live, prime time here on the grid. Talking a little football, a little baseball here as well as we close up shop. It'll be a game. I don't know if Gabe's working, I guess, by himself tonight. Him and I know George usually joins him, but apparently Cam's on vacation. Who knows? So Gabe Morency at the top of the hour. Can we get a run out of your Pirates? Because I'm intrigued now with this 8.5, 7.5 stuff that we've talked about. Down 4-3, top 8. They're giving us 8.5 when it's 4-3. So if they score a run, then you automatically get a win, right? Because you got to have at least 5-4. So that's that might be worth one. Red Sox reclaimed the lead against the Astros 4-2, top of the 6th inning. The Angels, Dave, scored 2. It was all set to coast on a nice 3-0 Kansas City, win. Now it's 3-2, bottom of the 7th. Got to sweat that out. And Minnesota's already up 1-0 against the Padres.
There you go.
Couple more.
All right. Yeah, this is one of those nights, man. I don't think anything's going to be easy, and I think we'll have to watch it the rest of the night. With I don't know what to make of the Seattle in the Dodger game either. Just another one that's like.
I don't see 9 runs though. Do you? That 8.5 is kind of like Brian Wu, the pitcher for Seattle. He's pretty good. His ERA is 2.05. Like.
I like Brian Wu a lot.
Yeah, he's a good pitcher, right? So why is that 8.5?
I like Brian Wu a lot. Yeah, because it's probably taking a shorter stint, right? If Brian Wu goes 6 innings, I think he gets over that K prop. But if Brian Wu doesn't go 6 innings, the Dodgers have gotten at least 3 runs, probably off him, if not more. So, the interleague matchups are some of the toughest during the regular season in general. But in August, White Sox, Giants, Twins, Padres, Mariners, Dodgers. You got 2 games there that are quote unquote playoff games. And the other game is between 2 teams that, it would take a miracle for the Giants to make the playoffs. But the White Sox were eliminated over the weekend from playoff contention. It's
how about
still
that?
August, right? How early is that? You got to go back to the expansion Mets to have a record this bad this early. And, we got guys watching the show that were probably around when the Mets were losing that many games. Not like our young guy, Vinny, who I don't know if Vinny's ever really seen the Mets win anything either. I don't know.
No, it is, remember 86. No, I think he said he was either really small, 1 or 2, or not born yet, one of the 2. Not even close. 95, yeah. That was even past the they hit a double. That was past Strawberry and Gooden and all those, collapse against.
Yeah.
He doesn't even remember the collapse against the Cardinals, probably.
No.
In 2000 or whatever that was, 2007. Hey, maybe you remember the. You remember that? Taking the 3rd strike. Yeah. Oh, is that game 6? Ooh, I didn't realize he grew up with the golden spoon in his mouth at 7 years old, 8 years old, going to playoff games. Ooh. 4 rows were behind 3rd base. Ooh, I didn't realize that. We're dealing with celebrity status here. By the way,
Padres tied the Twins.
Gonna get the over there. 13 starts for Mr. Wu for the Seattle Mariners. 1 time has he allowed more than 3 runs. Only 1, 2, 3. Only 4 times out of 13 starts has he allowed 3 runs or more. Everything else has been 0. This is the Seattle Mariners. The dude throws 4-hit shutout baseball his last start, and not only didn't he win, the team lost the game. 3-2 at the Twins. That's
oh my goodness.
He's thrown shutout baseball 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now again, this is 2024, so he's going 6, 7 innings. 6, 7, 8 times. 8 out of 13. Now, is that possible? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Are you counting
6,
right now
7.
on the air? Come on, we only got 45 seconds left. Quit counting. Focus.
7 times out of 13 starts, he's not allowed an earned run. And then they're giving 8.5.
That's pretty good.
I should have put the black cloud on the under in this game. Forget the Giants.
That sounds like under. That's an
It's
under.
Be. Yeah,
We got
bet the
Stone
over.
on the other side.
7-5 Giants or 7-5 Dodgers as they knock Wu out of the game in the third inning. Yeah, 2-1 Padres.
Hello.
Yeah.
It's like that.
My
All right,
Oakland
I'm going
A's
to
up
eat
2-0
dinner.
against
Good job,
the Tampa
boys.
Bay Devil Dogs. Yep, good job. Cam Stewart, Gabe Morency, top of the hour. Please game anyway.